guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for My Hero Academia Chapter 154. And right in the beginning of the chapter, we see that, yes, Season 3 is now officially confirmed. So I know I already made a video on that, so I won't talk too much more about it, but yeah, it is official now, guys. We are getting a Season 3, and like I said, I do believe it is only going to cover only two arcs. I don't think we're getting any more than that out of the next season, to be honest with you, but yeah. Moving on. So, apparently we learn in this chapter, right off the bat, that Night-Eye's predictions are an absolute thing. So, it is still interesting. I think that's a way of kind of reminding us to keep in the back of our minds that All Might will still die. But even more so than that, from the way it was described and the way it was shown in this chapter, it really speaks volumes about who Nighteye is as a character. If it's one of those things where you have this great power, and you want to use great power, and you're trying to fight against it. Like, we learned that Nighteye, he tried, the moment he learned All Might's death was a given, he tried his best, everything he damn could, to fight against the flow of his own predictions. But in the end, nothing really changes about the ending outcome. So, and that's the one thing that you really gotta think about with this thing. Like, Nighteye has this great, amazing power to predict the future. But everything he does won't change the end outcome. Like, you have this amazing power to predict the future, but you can't change the ending of it. You can only change the in-between portions. And it really is like editing a film, almost, in a way. Like, you really, when you really get, it really is interesting. Like, you gotta think, a power like with a power like this, of you having the ability to predict the future, but being able to change the ending of whoever you predict the future of, you really think that is, well, all Nighteye did had it well. You really gotta think it messes having a power like that. You really gotta think of how much it messes a guy up. Like, I bet deep inside, even though he maintains his composure a lot, I bet it was tearing Nighteye to fucking pieces, just trying to figure out a way to change All Might's future, but he can't change it. At least, not from what we've seen, but we'll talk about that later. And it also makes me wonder, though, is if at some point, if he did see Izuku's future as the number one hero, and if he did, then it would make more sense as to his attitude towards Izuku in the very beginning of this arc. Because if you think back, he was saying saying all this stuff about how in the end he will accept Togata as the true holder of one for all, and even though there is still room for basically my little prediction about that whole setup happening, it really puts into perspective as to why Nighteye was always so cold to Izuku. Like, it really makes you believe that, when you really think about it, he probably saw Izuku as the number one hero, and probably at that particular time, I bet Togata was already working for him at the time that he most likely predicted that Izuku was going to be the number one hero. So, knowing that, I bet he tried his damnedest in order to fight against Izuku becoming the one-for-all hero, the next greatest hero, because he had seen so much promise in his own disciple, Togata, who he came to appreciate and come to show pride in as his own disciple. And it was a very, we definitely got a lot of Togata and Nighteye's relationship as master-disciple, and it really is, I know people hate it when we compare notes with other series, but it really is, in a way, like the respect Naruto had for Jiraiya and Jiraiya had for Naruto. So in a way, it really has to. I bet Naruto was just really goddamn frustrated that in the end he just probably couldn't even change his own disciples' future too. So he couldn't he's probably just frustrating the man constantly that he can't change his master's future and his disciples' future. It's just, yeah, the man is torn up inside beyond belief. Um, but yeah, and even more than that, we see that Izuku has now like leveled up. He can now maintain 20% of All Might. He can now maintain 20% of All Might's power, of One for All's power. Now, keyword in there being maintain, not control, but maintain. Because from what we see, and from the way it was described of Izuku going into 20% of One for All's power, it is a step forward that will, from the way it's described, it sounds like it will be a step forward that's going to need further training. Because based on Izuku's inner monologue of how, even though it isn't breaking his body, it still is hurting him. It is good to know in that sense, because it does mean that there is room to improve that limit and improve on that limit. Like not go forward past 20% just yet, but improve on how well he can control that particular. He controlled 20% now, because even before he thinks about moving on to like 40, 50, whatever, he's going to need to learn to control this 20% now before he moves on. So yeah, and I do like how Horikoshi is doing that, where even though even though Izuku levels up each time, that there is still going to be he does still manage to keep a limitation on it. So I do like, in that way, I really do like Horikoshi's writing, because it keeps Izuku at a manageable level. Like he's not making Izuku too OP. He's always remembering to keep, in order to limit a limitation on One for All, and right now Izuku needs to learn to overcome this current limitation right now. So yeah, it will be interesting to see where Izuku's going to go from here in terms of controlling 20% of One for All's power now. Now, I do need to talk about this one thing. Like I said in the beginning of the review, we do learn that Night-Eye's power of foresight is absolute. Whatever he predicts, it is going to happen. But Izuku's last line about bending the future, I'm hoping Horikoshi really isn't going to change All Might's future, because he's already built it up and set it up so much that All Might is in fact going to die. We know this. Like Horikoshi has built up for pretty much a while now that All Might is destined to die. That part has been proven, and Izuku's and Night-Eye's prediction in the past. Night-Eye's prediction just kind of confirmed that. But I'm hoping that with what he's saying through Izuku, I hope he's not telling us he's going to change All Might's future, because, like, again, he's already built up so much that if All Might did survive, it would be anticlimactic, more or less, to be honest with you. And if he did survive, I mean, right now, I'm kind of under the impression, only because of Horikoshi's whole way of working with shonen tropes and whatnot, I want to assume it's one of those times where Horikoshi is one of those having your cake and eating it too type situations. Like he's giving Shonen Jump that they're pretty much their whole message about hope and never giving up, while at the same time he's still probably behind the scenes planning All Might's death. Like that right there is already speaking to me that yes, All Might is like, yeah, he's giving Shonen Jump their whole message of their usual message that they like to market, but at the same time, yeah, I want to believe Horikoshi is still planning All Might's death behind the scenes, and I guess in that sense, it actually makes Horikoshi almost look like a villain almost. But yeah, that's kind of the way I'm interpreting it, but I don't know for sure. But but yeah, guys, My Hero Academia is back, and this chapter was actually really good. Like we definitely got a lot of insight into into Nighteye as a character and who he really is, and just how much of a sad, how much of a how much of a tragic case he is. Like yeah, like if I was if I was if I was Neta, I wouldn't have been able to hold it in. I would have gone fucking insane trying to figure out that shit of how to change the future. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of Enemy, signing off. Later, guys.